Good morning and welcome to another Top Deck Games video. I'm Mark, one of the co-owners of the store. It's early in the morning. It's only about 8:30. It's pre-opening. I'm actually here because I'm waiting for some deliveries, but also I tried to do a video last week. I got Tim, who is one of the Final War gentlemen, and the winner of a $20,000 tournament at PAX. And I had an interview with him, and that went really well. I was really pleased with it. And then went to edit it, and the audio was terrible. I couldn't hear him at all. I sounded really nasally, which I wasn't. I just couldn't rectify it. So I'll have to get Tim in again to try to do that again. But I wanted to keep you updated because we've had a lot of new products come in, and there'll be some changes to our tournament schedule, and some interesting things have popped up. So I will try to cover those as quickly as I can. First, new product. More importantly than anything else, and it's a welcome back, because I've missed this product ever since I got to watch my mate Daniel play this ages ago while I lived in Tassie. Necromunda's back, which for anybody who doesn't know what Necromunda is a Games Workshop game. I know, we've got to keep ourselves calm with that, where they basically took the 40k rules and then applied it small scale to gangs, and so it's a game about gang warfare. If you've ever had a want to do something like Sharks versus Jets, bit of West Side Story action, or if you just want to fight over rival turf, this was a really good game. The rules were cool. It got a bit silly towards the end. They tried to add in extra teams, extra ideas, which didn't quite pay off. I think they did a bit more playtesting, but the core of the game was really solid, and was basically the 40k equivalent of Blood Bowl, except instead of just being a complete knockoff of NFL, and if you're not interested in NFL, not a sports person, that didn't really appeal to you. This had the same gritty feel of like a good 40k game, but really added a bit more depth, a bit more role-playing added to it. It's just really good, and it's back. It's been reprinted. The box sets are out. It's an amazing thing. And I'm really glad to see it back. The starting gangs they're starting with this time are Goliath, which was a bit of a no-brainer because they're the big guys. And but this time they're starting with the Escher, the all-girl gang. I guess they're trying to appeal to a newer audience. Especially in the light of movies like Mad Max, Fury Road, which was fantastic, which showcased, Furiosa being one of the most awesome characters that came out of that film. You can see a real market for it to potentially leading forward. Highly recommend people go out and buy it. The box sets can be a little expensive, but like Blood Bowl, they come in the box set. If you've never played it before, it's a good chance to get a couple of gangs with good models and the rules and a little bit of terrain and some cardboard things. And I haven't gone through it yet. I'm actually going to think about unboxing one a bit later. So what you can do is, if you're experienced, and online they've got a list for all the old gangs. So if you're a House Cawdor fan or a Van Saar gang type guy, all the actual gangs have been relisted. Not the redemption stuff. So you're not going to find Spires there, which I'm not unhappy about because Spires kind of ruined the game for a lot of people. But the basic gangs are in there, and they've already released two of the gangs separately from that. So you can actually buy just what you need, as opposed to having to buy the box set, which is something that I think a lot of people are very happy about, especially if you have the older versions of the game but you wanted to try something new. You don't have to go back to the bottom of the barrel again, just to get the same models again. Don't know, it doesn't come with a rulebook, so we're still looking into that, but I'm sure the rulebook will probably be available online shortly. So it still uses range rulers, still has scatter dice. It's got some new dice in it, so you may want to invest in some of these brand new dice they've got. But apart from that, it's worth checking out. And we'll be having a Necromunda League in the new year. As soon as I'm hoping they'll release a few more models before I start having it, because I just don't want to see Goliath versus Escher all the time. It's a bit boring. Okay, so that's really good. Next on our list, the L5R train keeps rolling on. Pack 3 is out. Pack 4 is out this week. Look, I'm hearing all sorts of things from people, a lot of grumbling about what will happen in the near future regarding the next lot of packs. Look, it's going to be a tough one. Nobody's currently giving the ball away as to what FFG is likely to do. However, our Imperial Summons event went really well. We got 12 players, which is not as many as I would have liked. I thought giving to charity might have brought out a few people from the east side to come over. Apparently it didn't, which Luke and I were a bit sad about, actually. It did not as many people turn up as we would have liked. Because giving to charity, well, maybe that's a thing. Maybe giving to charity isn't a thing that people are really into, which is sad. So, look, back to the drawing board with that one. Our Way of the Ring tournament is on the 9th. Apologies to those people who are going to Gatekeeper Games. Look, there's some confusion on the tournament organisers board. Mainly that Gatekeeper Games actually posted when they were hosting theirs months ago, and I missed it. So my apologies to them. We're not going to move it. There's no point. It's only a 12-man tournament. I mean, you can come and play. I'm certainly going to try to find some more prize support for it, just because I can. But it's a standard tournament. People will be playing an actual tournament decks with 3 boxes. We're only making the 5th pack legal. 6th pack won't be legal because it's just not. Nobody will have the time to have gotten it if they already have. So more details of that are available on our website. It's on a Saturday, like all our L5R days. Again, it's sad that the other stores choose to put tournaments on Saturdays when they've got their own gaming nights. They could be putting games on. And hats off to Good Games Melbourne for making sure that their tournaments are on the Wednesdays, which they do run. We really appreciate it because it means that people can get around to other stores and enjoy playing different sorts of people, which is pretty important for a growth of community. Magic the Gathering. Well, so in the world of good idea, bad idea, Magic has had some of these topsy-turvy periods before. I'm a big believer in Magic. I've watched us go through some good times, some bad times. I watched us get through Kamigawa when everybody said that it's dead. I mean, after all, you had a format in which you really didn't play any of the Kamigawa cards for their entirety of standards. So it is, I must admit, things don't look good. And Magic have oversaturated the market. Can't help it. It is the truth. We've got, for those people who are interested, we have the Explorers of Ixalan stuff, which is essentially, they want to market it as a board game. It's not. It is a multiplayer Magic the Gathering supplement. In the same way that you may have Plane Chase, or you may have Archenemy, this Explorers thing is basically you're going around paying mana during your multiplayer games to unlock the secrets of Ixalan and get these bonuses. Have they been well thought out? Sort of. We've played a couple of games of it. It's not the world's greatest idea, but I'm going to play it with some Commander this evening, so we'll see how that goes. But on a value product scale, yeah, not the greatest value for your bang for your buck. We've dropped the price of ours so that it's probably a bit more accessible, but really, it's just not for everybody. But if you play multiplayer Magic, you like a bit of variance, yeah, it's not bad. And some of the cards in there are actually really cool, like reprints of Blatant Thievery got new artwork, and a couple of other cards got new artwork as well. And the problem, though, is that they had the Merfolk deck, and the Merfolk deck reprinted Merfolk Sovereign, which you can find in the Merfolk and Goblin deck, which is a really good product. So the Merfolk and Goblin deck is a dual deck, which has a Goblin deck and a Merfolk deck, straight blue, straight red. The best part about both of these, they include cards that are necessary. If you want to play Goblins, a Goblin Instigator hasn't been reprinted at all, and now you can get one at a bargain price. I highly recommend people go out and buy them. It's really good. And especially it's got a Krenko in there, so for people who actually want to play Goblin Commander, it's got the best Commander General for Goblins. Some people will say, no, you can play Doretti, or no, you can play Grenzo, or no, you can play... Look, anything that puts out double the amount of Goblins is broke. And I like it. I think it's amazing. and I will laugh at anybody who says otherwise. And the Merfolk deck gives you the basis of a good modern Merfolk deck. Of course, there are still some expensive cards you need to get, like some Lord of Atlantises. There's probably a couple more of each of the. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure that the delivery guy hasn't arrived. Nope, it's just a person with their child. There are a whole lot of Merfolk that are very worthwhile getting. And if you've got the opportunity to get them, look, it's a cheap way of getting into the action, which I highly recommend. So Merfolk and Goblins, good. How does one talk? Okay, so we'll get before we get to the white elephant in the room. We're very proud about the From the Vaults. From the Vaults are an exclusive to WPN stores only, and we finally qualified for some. We're only selling them at $70. I've seen stores sell them at $100. Holy crap, $100. MSRP is not $100. These things are that's a bit expensive. But for $70, good value, and I highly recommend people pick them up because, especially Commander players, should be all over this product. It's got no less than 7 commanders, different commanders of different colors that people can play. Right, there are 2 colorless ones, but it's got some great options for players to decide whether they want to play them or not. And it's got Planeswalkers. I mean, this set is just amazing. I think it's a must grab. Definitely usable. Got playable cards. Big thumbs up. And then there's Iconic Masters. So it's funny because we talk about the Modern Masters sets with a bit of reverence. When Modern Masters 1 came out, it was like, oh my god, Tarmogoyf Bobs are back, it's amazing! By Bob we mean Dark Confidant. I mean, these cards are just, it was like Christmas had come. And then the pull rates started happening, and okay, we're not getting as much as we wanted, seems a bit odd, it's a bit sad. And we got Mod Masters 2, and that was like, oh my god, it's okay, we've reprinted Goyf again, everything is wonderful. And some of the other cards they printed were good, and it's okay. There was a bit of time between them, so it was pretty good. And then we got Eternal Masters, and was like, okay. So on the one hand, if you draw well and if you pull boosters and get your Force of Wills, these boxes are amazing. And then you'd get pulls where it's like, I think I just got shafted. I really think I just lost my money, and it did happen. And it happened with a bit of alarm. Because the rares didn't really cut the mustard. If you weren't getting the right rares, you're not getting the right value. And you want value. These products are very expensive, so you need a bit of value to go with what you're playing. Come down to Mod Masters 2017. Booyah! I mean, reprint of Snapcaster. The fetches were all there. I mean the off-color fetches. I mean, it's just glorious in terms of money. I mean, it was a really good set. I remember cracking a couple of boxes myself. Picked up a couple of cards that I wanted. Got my forces. I've got a full play set of 4 now. It's really good stuff. Iconic Masters, however, seems to be all or nothing. Either you're opening a box and getting a Mana Drain, which is the reprint of choice. It's the new Force of Will. It is the... So when I say new Force of Will, I mean in terms of Modern Masters, it's the I must pull this card. The rest of the cards that are in these sets are just... sure, they're nice. They're great to have, maybe, if you need them. Alright, Flusterstorm? Sure. Needed a reprint. Something that only appears in Commander, but is... a vintage legacy vintage staple. Okay, kind of necessary. Horizon Canopies and Grove of the Burn Willows, those sorts of decks that require them. Sure, they're good cards and are worth the $40, $50 price tag. Aether Vials, okay, again, important for some decks. Like if you're going to get into Merfolk, maybe this is a thing for you. But the reprinting of the 5, I was about to say Kaladesh, the 5 Kamigawa Dragons, and the reprinting of the 5 Praetors from New Phyrexia, not with you. Not with you at all. I think they're wasted slots. I think that, with the exception of Elish Norn, most of them just don't get played. at all in most environments except kitchen table formats in Commander. And if you're pandering to Commander players, okay, there are better products out there that are bringing out these sort of sets. In fact, you could have had a From the Vault cycles, and then put in the 5 Predators, put in the 5 Dragons. There are good cycles of cards you could put in there that would make people a lot happier. The Cycle of Wishes, for instance, or cycles of common cards. There are good cards you can do these cycles, like something like that with. Putting it into an Iconic Masters set. Iconic Masters. Okay, when I think iconic, I would have had Sink of Empire, Shivan Dragon. I would have had a Lanawa Elf, because I think that's really iconic. And for blue, who knows? I can't really think of many good, iconic blue creatures, other than a Merfolk. Merfolk of the Pearl Tridents, an iconic Merfolk. It's not a good card, but it's iconic. I mean, we're looking iconic cards. Cards that when I say Magic the Gathering, you go, yep, that's right, Sarah Angel. Not a hard sell. Sink of Empire, not a hard sell. Shivan Dragon used to be just the flagship card. I mean, it used to be, the card of cards. It used to be rare. It used to be important. It used to mean something. Now it's the one that's available in the starter decks, the ones that we give away at the store. Iconic are things that, when you think Magic the Gathering, you think this card. So, if you have to go to the bottom of the barrel, now I would have reprinted Dark Ritual. I would have reprinted Healing Salve, Giant Growth. I would not have done Ancestral Recall. Anybody that says, oh, he's going to say Ancestral Recall, nah, forget it. Brainstorm, could have put that in. Lord knows that's a cool card. You can put in these cards that have meaning, and have had meaning. Cards that have had meaning, that have won games, that have won worlds, that are iconic, that have become iconic. The Predators aren't iconic. The 5 Dragons from Kamikawa, from the World's Worst set, is it really iconic? Not really. It just disappoints me that a set that you could have made so amazing, you've just dropped the ball on. So I'll have to pass on. And it is expensive. Look, if you're looking to potentially get hosed, sure, give it a crack. Otherwise, let this one pass. Boxes are very expensive. In fact, most stores I know of are actually discounting their prices so ludicrously that it's like a garbage fire. Everything must go. Everything's on fire. Just get away. You're going to throw it away. That's the sort of conundrum we find ourselves in at the moment, which is very sad. Very, very sad. Okay. On tournament news. Move away from products, move a bit on to tournament news. Yu-Gi-Oh! For all our Yu-Gi-Oh! Boys. We've got, and girls, all people. Don't want to get anybody upset. For all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, we have a series of tournaments over the next 3 weeks. Tag tournament next week. Tag tournament. Get yourself a partner. Come in. Enjoy yourself. Tag will be best of 1, not best of 3. Please don't do that. You get double the life points, so it kind of makes up for it. You have so that's next week. The week after is a winner box. First prize will be winning a box. I'm paying for it. I'm getting some good players to come out here. Stephen Lau and his mates will hopefully come out. And big props to them for doing so, because I know it can be far sometimes to come from the east, but I'm trying to make it worthwhile, and I want to give my boys a bit of practice before YCS against good opponents, which I really appreciate. And then the week after, fingers crossed, we're doing a GOAT tournament. For those of you out there who have no idea, when I say GOAT, you probably think we're going to get GOATs in, and who knows. But instead, GOAT tournament is a format of Yu-Gi-Oh! That was prevalent ages ago. I think about 2005 is the ban list. April of 2005. So it was an interesting era of Yu-Gi-Oh! I actually played through this era, or a bit of this era. I'm actually a bit before that, but who's counting? The enjoyment I'm having of this is I'm playing. I have a GOAT deck. I'm bringing out something out of mothballs, and we're going to see how well I do if I can even remember the game. That will be probably a bit hard. But who knows? That's what we're going to find out together. This Thursday at least, we have Cash and Guns tournament. Bang, bang! We're going to see if we can find out whether or not the Pedros of the world unite and manage to actually win. If you've never played Cash and Guns before, if you've never even heard of it and you're like, what are Cash and Guns? Come by Thursday night. It's a board game. Well, it's a board. It's a game. There's no boards, but it's a game. It's Mexican standoff. It's really good fun. Bring your friends, come and play. Plenty of promotional stuff. And people who play Cash and Guns usually don't regret it. Well, they regret it if they lose, or they regret trusting their friends. I mean, it doesn't incite diplomacy levels of revenge, but well, it tends to incite a little bit of mania. So that's this Thursday. The following Thursday, we'll be doing Conan the Barbarian. I have a copy of Conan. I love Conan. I've loved Conan since, and I know I'm going to be shouted out as being a heathen probably, but since the cartoon of Conan the Barbarian was on television, and I watched it all through and couldn't get enough. And then watched the Arnie movies and thought, wow, that's fantastic. And then watched Jason Momoa botch it. But look, we can't all be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's something that is a once in a lifetime gift to mankind. Whether you're governor of California or wielding an assault rifle, or apparently just wielding a giant sword and saying iconic catchphrases of Conan. It doesn't matter. Conan's good fun. I have no idea how to play it. The game was huge. I kickstarted it. I bought a whole lot of extra stuff. It's going to be big. So we'll see if I can put that on a stream as well, because that's actually things might be very interesting. Things may be interesting. Let's try that. And then the week after that, which we're almost getting towards Christmas, we're going to do another legendary tournament. We've got promo still sitting there. I think we can give stuff away, so people should come and play some Legendary, because I love Legendary. I think it's a really good game, definitely the better of the deck building card games, and it's co-op, and who doesn't like a good co-op game? So that's really cool. Anything else I have to talk about? No, I think that's about it. So until you hear from me next, best wishes to you and yours, and I hope to talk to you soon. Which is a saying I just stole off Saffron Olive. I realise it's a bit sad. I'll have to cut that maybe. Look, bye for now.